Who won the war, Jerry Jones or Ezekiel Elliott?
Jerry Jones. Like you said, Jerry Jones won this war because of the muscular move he made in terms of approaching this contract. We all know Zeke just got paid, highest paid running back to ever touch the turf in NFL history. Yeah. And that's all you got. And that's a lot. That's security. That's peace of mind. But guess what Jerry gets? Jerry gets to know that, one, my franchise player is happy with peace, security. Great. But guess what else I get to do in this exchange? I'm exchanging value. I give you money. You give me responsibility on the field to continue to be the great workhorse you are, but off the field. I could umbrella this now saying, I invested in you. Not just money, but opportunity. And I know that this opportunity comes with a great responsibility because much is given, much is expected. Now, I'm going to look at you and always look at you through the eyes of being a Cowboy with the star next to your name. You're not a $3 million running back anymore. So don't go around this town or go around this world acting like some $3 million running back. When I give you these terms, they come at these terms. And that's why I think he won. He gave someone something but asked for even more than that person has shown to this point in return.
You know, I think this is really a win-win. It's a win for Zeke. Short term, he got the money that he wanted. He got $50 million guaranteed. Ooh. He wanted to surpass Todd Gurley. He was able to do that, not only in guarantees, but in the way they stretched it out when they say the extension is the highest paid in football. But for Jerry Jones, this is the ultimate victory. It's the ultimate victory because basically he stretched him out on a long-term deal that by year 2 or 3, Zeke is going to be begging to come back and get some more money. And it's no more money that's going to be out there. So for 8 years, I have my best player under contract. And those terms, when the new CBA comes, $12 million, $13 million, going to look like peanuts at that position. And so Jerry Jones, being the businessman that he is, he understood, he stretched it out, and he has won. Because now he not only has Zeke, but he's gotten everybody. He has everybody signing these long-term deals. La'el Collins, he got Jalen Smith, he has him. He's going to probably get Byron Jones and somebody else. All of these guys are going to be under contract, and they're going to be grossly underpaid when the new CBA comes in.
All right, let's go a deeper layer, and Marcellus has already hinted at it. You think the Cowboys trust Zeke? Does Jerry trust Zeke to stay out of trouble?
No. Look, this is not trust. Trust doesn't have another layer called hope on top of it. Trust is an expectation. And, you know, the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. So there's no trust in Zeke because of his past behavior. But there is a hope. There's this new responsibility that comes from this new contract that you're hoping that he does better. I've been in too many situations, too many relationships where someone didn't trust me. For good reason, too, but they didn't trust me. And guess what they would say before I left the house? Well, I hope you have a good night. I hope you are good tonight. I hope you come home. What? Because you don't trust me. For good reason. And Jerry Jones is now hoping that Zeke is more than he's ever displayed. But in reality, that's not really trust, because if it was trust, it would be a security with this. They're still not secure in their position in terms of how responsible he will be off the field.
No, they don't care about the character stuff. They know exactly what this is. This is all about the P's, production and performance. As long as Zeke is producing and performing at a high level, the Cowboys will tolerate the stuff that he's been involved in. Anytime that his production and performance begins to slip, that's when you begin to hear it's being an issue in the locker room. And so the Dallas Cowboys know this is our best player. He's the one that kind of drives the bus. But as soon as he begins to fall off, the character issues that he may have been involved with off the field, that's when they'll become.
I don't know about that. You know why? I mean, here's another P, personality. We always say the production-personality balance has to be equal. In this situation, what are the contract terms? The microscopic fine print that may let them off the hook as soon as you step outside the line. So I'm not sure of that yet. That is something that Zeke and Jerry certainly know, and I think that was part of the negotiation. What took it so long, the sticking points is, let's get fine with these details more so than just how much you're going to make.
Yeah, that very well could be a part of it because you would like to protect yourself.
Well, Bucky, I think it's interesting you said you don't think they care. And I just think at these prices, when they step out there and like, you're the highest paid running back in the league, in a league where there's all this pressure to devalue. Don't go over the Todd Gurley bar. They jumped, and so I do think they care. They do want to see Zeke not back in the principal's office, not in the headlines.
They don't want to see that, but they value the performance and the production. Remember, this is the same franchise. No disrespect, they signed Greg Hardy. They've signed guys with questionable character before. Now, Jerry has a soft spot in his heart where he'll try and rehabilitate those guys, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And the way that you win in this business is to have the most talented roster. They're banking on Zeke's talent. They're banking on his ability to really continue to be a rushing champion to get them over the top. And they're hoping that the time bomb won't go off while he's still playing at a high level.
Well,
go ahead. I agree with you to this extent that Jerry also has, 25 years worth of NFL ownership experience with the Dallas Cowboys. And he's been like, oh, I had Michael Irvin.
Yes.
And so we had him out wide at receiver. Now we have a Michael Irvin in the backfield, and Emmett and Troy is now Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott, guys that we can trust. I do think, though, at this stage, with this kind of money on the line, it's a different era. I do think there are some expectations placed on Dak of like, hey, man, stay between these lines. We've done enough. I went to war with the commissioner over you and burned up part of my relationship with the commissioner's office for you. I do think there are some expectations. And I actually do think there's a level of trust that Zeke is going to meet him. I really believe that.
And I really believe it as well. I've experienced it from being a second rounder to being a backup to becoming a franchise player. Sets of rules and expectations come with that ascension. And one thing they teach you in sociology, just to know how the human mind works, is location and price when you're talking about walking in the store. Everyone thinks you just walk in the store and their items are just there and you can buy them, just walk out. Oh, it's a masterful, masterminded experience. They put the convenience and the products for men in the front because we lazy as hell. We ain't walking through this whole store for what we want. And they put the women's stuff in the back because they're going to travel with the effort to go get what they want. When you're a franchise player and you're on full display, guess what? That star is next to your name no matter what you do. You have to act accordingly. When you were a $3 million undervalued running back that was one of the best in the league, okay, you acting like you're getting paid, $3 million. You're not lowly anymore, so your responsibilities have increased with your dollars.
Oh, you certainly increased the standard of expectation because he is the franchise player, and they're paying him as such. But he and Dak Prescott and Jalen Smith and the other guys that they've written those big checks to, they expect those guys to have a certain level of performance on and off the field. But, yeah, they're paying him for what he does on the field.
All right, it's Wednesday. Football gets the preparation for this weekend really begins today. Cowboys play the Giants. Speculation is Zeke gets 24, 25 snaps. Can the Cowboys count on him to deliver this weekend against the Giants?
They shouldn't. They should not feed them to the wolves. Soft tissue, a hamstring always disagrees with a holdout. I'm telling you, it never wants to come into a situation like this and go 0 to 100. It just doesn't work out typically. Zeke should have a measured experience. You talk about him coming back. Pollard was the toast of the town during the preseason. Let's keep talking about him. Why? The Cowboys, remember when Zeke was suspended, 2017? The 3 weeks before his return, they were averaging 30 points a game. When he returned, they averaged 9 points a game. Zeke didn't even have a touchdown when he returned. All I'm saying is this is a team that can win without Zeke or at least put up points without Zeke. We're still going to have Zeke, but please give him a lesser experience in the beginning because this is a marathon. You got to see him at the end.
Yeah, you need to see him at the end. So I'll be very conservative with him the first month of the season. The first game and the second game, minimal play time. I want to make sure that we get him with the strength and conditioning staff and see where he is. Maybe you can put him out there spot duty. You talked about 20 to 25 plays. That may be a lot to put him on the field. I'm definitely not giving him more than 10 or so touches. You want to make sure that he is at his best at the end of the year. Yeah. And so even if you take an L or two at the beginning, protecting the franchise, I would do that. I can't throw him right out there.
I can protect him, but I'm not comfortable losing to the Giants at all.
Why?
There's only 16 games.
Divisional game.
And the divisional game. No, I'm not comfortable losing this game. I do agree with you. they need to, if the guy gets 7 carries this weekend, they need to be satisfied with that. The concern I have, again, is when you send Dak out there without his security blanket, that's the guy that I would be most worried about. He doesn't have his new contract. He needs to get the ball rolling very early, because I'm sure he hasn't given up on trying to get his new contract as soon as possible. He might need Zeke more than anybody else on that roster.
If I'm Dak right now, this is a prime opportunity to show you my value. Why? I got Zeke, who just came from Cabo, so let's not test him. I got Amari Cooper, who missed all of the summer with his plantar fasciitis. And I got Jason Witten from Monday Night Football just now. I don't really have anything out here, like in full totality. Let me show you who I am and make something out of this. This is a great time for him.
Sound like a recipe for 3 interceptions.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.